Like, y'all not bumping that new Kendrick? Something's wrong with you.
Like, it's fire! It's fire!
Damn, I don't even know who I was last night. It's just something about you. You just made me feel.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Will the Drill. I'm back for another video. In this video, we got some goats for y'all. What is the definition of goats? The animal goats, yeah, they're okay animal, a nice farm animal. Then we got the other goats. What are some definition of goats? Like, let's see, let's look at some definition of goats. All right, definition of goat stands for greatest of all time. Not a title that should be given out easily or just easily given out, which is usually reference for people that are great. And I'm going to show you people that are great, especially one today. You're going to see. When you think of goats, you think of Mike Tyson, Michael Jackson, the other Michael Jordan. And people also think of Tom Brady as a goat, or Tiger Woods. You know, he's a great. Serena Williams. And last but not least, we got the king himself, LeBron James. But who was the GOAT when it comes to rapping or making music? I'm about to tell you who I think is my GOAT and the best of all time.
I had to do it. I put your body in music. I brought the big one to prove it. You look what you said. Don't you then I'm on the way. I'm like an exit away. Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar is the greatest rapper of all time. I don't care what anyone tell me, but he's the greatest rapper of all time. Today I will tell you why I think he's the greatest rapper of all time. This video has taken me some time to make because I want it to be special and I want the whole world to understand why Kendrick Lamar is the greatest rapper of all time. See, I'm only 20 years old, and I see most of you may think I haven't been around music long enough or don't understand music long enough to be able to make the statement that he's the greatest. But I grew up listening to all types of music, analyzing and acknowledging greats before me like LL Cool J, Tupac, Biggie, Michael Jackson, New Edition, Jay-Z, Eminem, and more of that era. Or even people from our generation like Lil Wayne, Drake, J. Cole, Bruno Mars, Pharrell, Kanye West, and more. But over time, I had this feeling, and often, that one of them stood out from all the greats, and his name is Kendrick Lamar. And after hearing his new album and fully analyzing it and appreciating the greatness of it, I can truly say that Kendrick Lamar is the greatest rapper of all time. So let's break it down for you guys and explain why I think he's the greatest rapper of all time. Kendrick Lamar now has 5 studio albums since his debut in 2011, and he has won 161 awards from 399 nominees, including 14 Grammy Awards, 6 Billboard Music Awards, and ASCAP Vanguard Award. Section 80 was the first Kendrick Lamar studio album, and it got him mainstream and also got him a spot in the XXO freshman class that year.
If Pyros and Crips all got along, they probably gun me down by the end of the song. Seem like the whole city go against me. Every time I'm in the street, I hear yak, 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 yak.
Man down, where you from, nigga? Fuck who you know, where you from, my nigga?
His next album, which is more of a movie than an album, Good Kid, Mad City, is the album that truly put Kendrick over the top, has made everyone see what he is. Good Kid, Mad City is an amazing story, and us as listeners can truly visualize everything that Kendrick is telling us. His storytelling is amazing. This album is about Kendrick Lamar and how he went from K-Dot to Kendrick, and how he hooks up with a girl, robs a house, and goes through a misadventure, which makes him question hood politics. This album also has a lot of standouts from the album, like Swimming Pools, Poetic Justice, Money Trees, Mad City, Backstreet Freestyle, and Chick Don't Kill My Vibe. This album was the start of an amazing 3-album stretch of greatness, probably 4 now. Kendrick's next studio album is To Pimp a Butterfly, a perfect album and a masterpiece, and what made everyone start putting him in the GOAT conversation. This album talks about materialism, racism, obsession, and self-love. Kendrick states he wanted to show the brightness of life, and the word pimp has so much aggression, and it represents him and his celebrity status for good. Kendrick became the voice we didn't know that we needed to hear. This album features a lot of hits like King Kunta, These Walls, my favorite, Wesley's Theory, and arguably his best song to date, All Right. In the middle of a Black Lives Matter movement, Kendrick showed us he is here for his people and won't just ignore what's going on around the world, and he will use his spotlight to speak his mind. If you guys haven't heard To Pimp a Butterfly, please go give it a listen. And don't just be saying that it's trash. Just give it a listen to truly understand the greatness of the album and how great Kendrick truly is and how he wants to show us that he's here for us.
To Pimp a Butterfly, so let me just go through this right here. So you release this record, it comes out, it's the biggest thing ever. You were great on Saturday Night Live, by the way.
Appreciate it.
And it was, oh my gosh, it's so good, so different, and so well done. It was just fantastic. You got most Grammy nominations for a rapper in a year. You made history already.
Appreciate that.
You didn't have to win anything, you already won. You understand? And then I did a little research, and Michael Jackson holds the record with 12 nominations.
Yeah.
You almost had the same amount of nominations as Michael Jackson for Thriller.
The legend. I
mean-
wouldn't want to go past that, though.
No.
No.
But what if you had 13?
No. I take back. I can't fathom being as great as Michael without putting out the work. So 11 is perfect. You know, he's the legendary. I'm glad it's at 12.
What happens? Say you do get 13. Kendrick, let's think about this.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost happened. I mean, then what do we have to do? You just gotta...
I don't know.
Yeah, you just gotta leave the country. You gotta do something else. Yeah. You gotta figure out something else. But then all the samples on here are fantastic as well. And all of them, I think, are from either 1974 or 1975. What did you end up, why those years?
Those are the records that my parents played when I was growing up. In the 90s, they played nothing but Isley Brothers, Temptations, all the way to gangster rap, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg. So that was the influence. I said my first album, my debut, I wanted to make an album like this, but I wasn't confident enough. So I had to, I had to go back and say, you know what, I want to do it this time around.
Wow,
Yeah.
you really did it, man. And confidence and paid off, man.
Appreciate
Oh
that.
my gosh, 11 noms. Could have been. It's well deserved, dude. The hard work paid off. Kendrick Lamar, the biggest name in music.
Kendrick Lamar's fourth and next album didn't let up from the previous one. Damn was his next studio album. It tells the story on morality, faith, and the consequences of disobeying God. This album made you, if you didn't listen to Kendrick, had to put him in the conversation for being good and show y'all that even if you didn't listen to him, that you had to acknowledge his greatness. The album standouts was DNA, Element, Loyalty, Humble, Love, Fear, Duckworth. I'm not gonna lie, 2017 was a good year to truly be a Kendrick fan. And if you wasn't a fan, I don't know why wasn't you, but I promise you, after you finish watching the video, you'll appreciate Kendrick more. You maybe even become a fan. In 2018, Marvel released his first African-American led superhero movie, Black Panther, played by the late, great Chadwick Boseman. And of course, the guy, the GOAT, the legend, Kendrick Lamar made the soundtrack album. The soundtrack won Best Soundtrack for many awards that year. The movie and the music made it a great movie that year and a great time to be African-American in America that year. This soundtrack doesn't really count as a true Kendrick album, but the greatness is there and we can't ignore that. The true standouts from this album are All the Stars, Paramedics, King's Dead, and Big Shot. This made an already amazing movie even better with an amazing soundtrack. But after this, we won't see Kendrick Lamar drop another album until 2022. Heart Part 5 was dropped on May 9th, 2022 as a single. This was Kendrick's first song back since 2018, and Kendrick did not disappoint. This song is very controversial for his use of faces such as Kobe, OJ, Kanye, Will Smith, and much more. This song talks about a lot about the culture or what we perceive is the culture and what the names that he used may or may not use in the song. This song is not featured on the album, Kendrick's 5th album. This song stands on its own and is a great song and a very controversial song, but this is the first time we got Kendrick back in like almost 3 years. So it's good to see him back doing what he does. And now, guys, we have reached Kendrick's current and 5th album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, which was released this year on May 13, 2022. For my first listen, I was like, man, what am I listening to? Like, because, you know, what I'm used to hearing by the Kendrick, I'm like, man, you know, this ain't it. I'm thinking, man, this is trash. But the more and more I listened to the album, I was like, you know what? It's not trash. And then the more I keep listening to it, the more and more I wanted to hear more. And the more the album grew on me. And the more I appreciate the message he was saying. And I kind of felt his pain. You could tell the time apart that he took from making this album to his last album changed him. And it changed him for the better. And the album did not, in my opinion, did not disappoint at all. This might now be in my opinion, this might be my favorite album now. It was To Pimp a Butterfly, but I really believe this is not my favorite album. And I had this joint on repeat all summer. And if you know me, you know I had it on all summer. But like I want to say, an average listener will not understand this album because they'll call it trash because they're used to listening to songs for like the beat or if the flow is good or stuff like that, where that's not why he made his album. He didn't make it for us to be like, oh yeah, let's play it on the radio. No, he made it for him and for us to hear the message that he had to say and for us to hear what he has to say and how he's changing. And to be honest, I'm glad he did because this album is amazing. And if you haven't heard this album, you need to listen to it. And listen to it fully. Listen to the lyrics, listen to what he's saying, not just listen to how the song sounds, how the beat sounds. Because this is a great album and everyone should give it a chance. Now for my conclusion on Kendrick being the greatest rapper of all time. We went over all of his great hits and his achievements that already is evidence to show, but every great artist can be in the great conversation, and every artist will say they are the best. But like I said, Kendrick stands out from the rest because Kendrick only tries to be himself and he's only him. Kendrick doesn't even see how great he is. It's probably his biggest issue. He is very humble and understands the game. He shines best with his amazing storytelling and his amazing way to use his lyrics and put messages in his songs. And he will do anything for his people, despite what anyone thinks he is. His goal is to do and tell his people the most important narrative through his music. He has entered a small group that not many artists have been able to do with his 4 great album stretch. He doesn't care about being #1 on the chart. He doesn't care about anything. The only thing he cares about is that there is a message that he has to tell and he makes sure that it gets out. Like I said before, he is the voice that we didn't know that we needed. The era might not be right to help him with our generation today because we don't care about his music, but I do. And he doesn't care that y'all don't care. And he will continue to be great and not make songs just to make songs. He'll make songs that have meaning and messages. Now, some of you might not agree with me by saying he is the GOAT, but you have to understand what he's accomplished and what he has achieved in this world. And I hope that you all understand after watching this video and why. And you may agree with me, you may not, and you understand why I think he's the greatest of all time. But if you don't think that, you have to at least understand how great he is and what he does for our community. Thank you. I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited to see what he does next. Now, thank you. Peace.
They judge Christ, Godspeed for women's rights. They judge you, they judge Christ, Godspeed for women's rights. They judge you, they judge Christ, Godspeed for women's rights. They judge you, they judge Christ, Godspeed for women's rights. They judge you, they judge Christ, Godspeed for women's rights. They judge. I ain't taking shit back, like it when they grow black, but I'm more good at black. Tell me where the money at, ay, where the homies at, universal call out, I can remember only that, ay, CC. Wait a minute, ben aquí, c'est la vie, I tell the whole truth from A to Z, ay, show me you real, show me that you bleed, ay, hello, crackers, I see niggas argue in the blow, who's blacker? bitches on me like who? Push these niggas off me like who? Pushing the snakes, I'm pushing the fakes, I'm pushing them all off me like who? Pushing them all off me like who? Yeah, head up, chest out, silence. I'm stressed out, shh, be quiet. I'm stressed out, stressed out, stressed out, stressed. Pick my bottle up. I fought like a pure boy cherry, blood I shed, could feel like aquariums. Tell them my angels carry them. Every emotion been deprived, even my strong points couldn't survive. If I didn't learn to love myself, forgive myself 100 times, dog. I love when you count me out. 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 Fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up, fucking it. Why you gonna let my change when I got you need? I remember I don't know when the bed don't sleep. Deep crash out feelings in the middle of the street. Fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up, fucking it. Keep fucking you no more, I'm fasting. Bitch, I'm attractive. Keep fucking you no more, I'm fasting. Think about it, you can wait for you, never know, baby. See, I'm looking for space, that's my thoughts most sacredly. I'm running out of space, ask me, she okay, never mind, I'm hungry, can't wait, now I know, bitch, you many turning in this great. I'm lying if I said I wouldn't get it, shit, wait, be a little older, I'm priced for the shooter, praise for Muhammad, I might need a lucha, AP, Michael Freeman, my first cooler, primary, so the resale, fight stupid, I would never live my life on a computer, I just get you life for a check to ya, or a power to ya, love from a distance, why you always in the mirror more than the bitches, and my cousin tried to sue me like he got the privilege, but I didn't